My first video.
Yeah.
Holy dooly.
That's good. Got any jokes or anything?
No, I don't have. The only joke I know is Velcro, what a rip off.
So is this?
I was just filming.
It is.
It is.
G'day guys, it's Ninja here. We've got Ash.
Hi.
Ashley is our new person. She's doing a little bit different kind of work here at MMT. So firstly I want to ask you, where are you from? Tell us about your background.
So I am from eastern suburbs, always lived in Melbourne, have never really moved. My parents split when I was little, so we moved around a lot with my dad, renting, Ashburton, I don't even know where, Baldwin, so all around.
All around, yeah.
But yeah, now I live in Langwarrin, right near the beach, and loving it.
Yeah. So you live with Aaron.
I do live with Aaron.
Oh, how's it going living with that bloke? Is he
great.
messy?
No, I'm the messy one.
You're messy.
I'm the messy one.
He's organised and clean, is he?
He's very organised.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's actually pretty good. His wardrobe though, I just cleaned his wardrobe.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, that's not his priority. His wardrobe.
No.
He's got other.
His work is his priority. Which
Yeah,
is good.
that's where he's organised.
He fixes people.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And I suppose tell us a little bit about the work you do and why you got into it. I suppose what interests you? What sparked that?
So when I left high school, they never had psychology as a unit, and when I left they had it, and I just always had this I wish I could have done that. And then I had like a 3-year gap year, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. Went and studied fashion, still had that desire to want to study psychology, and I was always constantly reading spirituality books, self-development, psychology books, all of that. And then only 2-3 years ago I took the plunge and I enrolled in the course. And then it's kind of led me down the holistic path, because I just think that although psychology is good to know and to understand the science behind why we do what we do, it doesn't really treat the whole person. So you have to look at a person, mind, body, spirit, which is the holistic approach. So that's what brought me to holistic counselling and the energy work, and actually getting someone to their optimal state of being.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is so important, because we were just chatting before, you just withhold so much within you, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, and if you don't move it, then it just stores in there and you become stuck. And that's when in your life you feel just stagnant and you can't, move past that. And there's chemical imbalances and hormones that get addicted to feeling a certain way. So actually pushing past that and moving forward is so difficult for someone if they don't have the help or support that they need.
Yep. Yeah, cool. So tell me, what could a typical session look like? I suppose you can tailor a bit, couldn't you? But what would you normally do first session?
Well, first session's just getting to know you. What brought you here is probably the main question that I ask people, because sometimes they may not even know. It could just be an intuitive longing that they want someone to hold them and hold space for them. So I just get to know them, get their background. Some of them don't even want to talk, and that's okay. I can see in their bodies how they hold themselves, where they're holding their stress, any physical ailments we can talk about. And usually it goes into holistic counselling first, or if they don't want to talk, we can just do this energy work. So I do just light touch on the body, moving any areas of imbalance or blockages, and then having you feel at ease and having that breath flow really nicely. And I also do the bars, which is working on specific points on the head to really drop into that parasympathetic state and rest and digest. So it's every session's different. I can pull cards and do a reading, or we can just talk shit and whatever. It doesn't have to be tell me your traumas and let's unpack them. It can just literally be, how's your day going? What do you want to talk about? Let's just have a chat.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's no pressure to divulge.
Yeah.
What you don't want to.
Yeah. So with energy work, so I can understand that a bit more. So it's like Reiki kind of stuff, or is it a different kind of energy work?
Yeah,
or?
like it's a combination of a few things. Like Reiki is hands-on healing or off-the-body healing. So that is pretty much just pouring the positivity and the unconditional love into someone's body. So if you have like hands-on touch and you can feel the energy flowing, then you move on to a different spot. Whereas the chiropractic network spinal, which I've been taught by my chiro, is just light touch like this, working with the spine. So you start on the sacrum and you can work all the way through cervical, spine and all that. And that's just focusing on the areas of ease. So you want to kind of go where you're allowed into the body, where it's accepting you to go in, and then releasing and then allowing that energy to flow. So, and if you've got a blockage or an imbalance, it can be from a mental, physical, spiritual or emotional, outside, external influence. And that's where the talk comes through the holistic counselling, where it's like, okay, well, this is where you feel blocked, this is, you know, where it's showing up in your body, let's help remove that by talking about it and by doing the physical touch.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
sounds cool. And so that would you could be relaxing, but it also could go into some kind of
like
trauma as well,
and
kind of push into stuff that you've probably been scared to go into before, or avoiding going into, and things
100%.
like that.
Like you have people that, you know, come off the table and they feel really relaxed, or some people a couple of days later you could just start bawling your eyes out and you're like, why am I feeling this way? Or and that's just the energy moving, because all the emotions is just energy in motion. So if you're focusing on removing that from your body and actually having that awareness, you can create change within your system and let it go. Every session is completely different. There's no pressure to share, there's no pressure to, you know, do anything that you don't want to do. I'm completely guided by them.
Correct. So I think it's good to come to somebody, in my experience as well, to come to somebody that is kind of safe, you know, that's not going to hurt you. That's sort of like, you can actually divulge things that you probably don't want to divulge to the people that are close to you, you know, because you just the pushback that they might give you, you're scared of that, and
100%.
you know, so
you need to create that no judgment zone, because you're coming to someone with the deepest, darkest, you know, traumas or fears or things that you've never spoken about to anyone. And if that person sitting across from you is going to judge you and not accept you for your whole being, then what's the point? You know? So I'd try and create that space where if they want to share, they're welcome to. Like I'll prompt them, or I'll encourage them if I can see that it's really damaging to them. But I'll never push to just for my own benefit, because if it's not coming from an intrinsic thing of them wanting to share, then it's not going to benefit them.
So even if you don't share, the work can still work, because you can still process things, you can write things down, you'll go away and like Ash said, like 2 days later you won't have any connection to a session, but the emotion comes out. So
the physiological response is, oh my god, it's all happening kind of thing. So it's so important. And like the best thing is, like, the first step is you even just being there. So even if you sit across from me and you don't talk, and I just blab at you about, you know, benefits of what can happen, you're still getting a lot out of that. Just because you're not sharing or speaking about what's bothering you doesn't mean that, like, what you have come here for is wrong. You know, you're always going to benefit from the session, regardless. Like, people come to you guys and they just want a treatment, and then sometimes they want to share, and sometimes they just want to be quiet. So, but you always get something from that session.
You go at your own pace. And I just love how the body will guide you. You know, where
100%.
Where the blocks are, where the pain is, where the restriction or whatever resistance points are. That's sort of it just tells you, shows you.
And you can always see it in a person.
In their posture.
In their posture,
their
in
body
the way
language,
they hold themselves.
the tone of voice, things like that. Just reveals things.
The way they speak and the language that they use. It's you're saying more than you actually are saying. You know, so you sitting across from me, and if you're not saying anything but you're holding yourself like this and you're speaking really quietly, I'll know that, okay, well, something's going on there where you haven't been able to speak up, or you feel overburdened, or simple things like that.
I've kind of like that sort of stuff too, where your actual language will reveal a lot of times, and a lot of times you're using the word blocked or tense or rigid or something like that. These kind of words can actually reveal, and when we can bounce it back to you, and like that can start to unblock it, and you might not have even realised that you use that word all the time, but it's so relevant to healing what's going on.
And it's just bringing awareness to it, So even if at the end of the session you say to them, or I say to you, I've noticed that you've used the word blocked or sore or stuck a lot. Like, how does that relate to you in your everyday life, rather than just the physical pain that you're feeling? Is it a mental block? Is it an emotional block? Is it a spiritual block? Like, are you having rituals or daily practices that you're bringing in? Are you not keeping physically active and you feel stuck in that way? Like, that's just a conversation starter, I guess, if you're just keeping aware of the language that you use.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just edit that out. The other little thing, I suppose I wanted to talk about your toolkit. So, like, I know you're studying some kinesiology at the moment, but you're also very interested in nutrition and exercise and other things. So what else can you bring, I suppose?
Well, kinesiology I'm still learning, but I am offering balances at a discounted rate. So if you haven't heard of kinesiology, it's a really nice modality to access the subconscious mind through muscle testing, and it just relieves stresses within the body that you're feeling. So you don't necessarily, again, you don't have to talk about it. It's just me prompting you and figuring out remedies that we can use to clear that blockage and then invite new energy in. Nutrition wise, I think, being around you guys and Aaron having such a massive interest in it, the mind-gut connection is just fascinating to me. And I think that if you've got an unhappy gut, then you're going to have an unhappy mind. Like, if you take notice of when you eat junk food and when you have a binge weekend of alcohol or whatever it is that you do, take notice of how you feel on a Monday. And if you're sluggish and tired and all of that in your mind, then that's just showing me the imbalance of, okay, well, I'm not treating my body the way that I should be. And then take note of when you eat healthy and have, like, really nice vitamins and supplements and things like that, and your body's going to feel energized and have a lot of vitality to it. So I think that connection is so important to talk about, and to I don't have a degree in it, so I can't really prescribe, but I can support you and kind of give you guidance on what's worked for me, what's worked for you guys, and things like that.
I think what's coming out of this, a real key word is balance. And that's where when you're one-sided with an emotion, there's a real charge over this side, and you're not even seeing the exact opposite because you hate the opposite, or whatever. You're out of balance. And so the same in your gut. If there's not balance in your gut, there's not balance in your whatever part we're talking about, like lifestyle kind of stuff.
It's going to cause havoc.
So you need to have a bit of lots of different things for health. Exercise, movement, fresh air. That's another type of thing we're interested in, is nature, is the grounding. We've got our the bare feet, getting in nature, connecting with nature. If you can connect with nature.
That's
we
all
are. We are.
Like,
we come from
so
the earth.
Connected.
So if you try and resist that and try and sterilize everything and disconnect from nature, that's not going to end.
No.
Not going to be too good experience. You need to actually, eat living real foods and breathe fresh air and get some sun and those
feet
kind
in
of
the
things.
Ground. You can get your hands in the ground, swim in the ocean, swim in a lake, just float for a while. It's like the best feeling ever. When you're stressed or feeling anxious or depressed, if you go outside and if you spend an hour in nature, I guarantee you that will dissipate and you'll feel like, what was I even worried about in the first place?
This sort of stuff's free as well, isn't it? It's the
Don't
best.
Don't else, just go outside.
But we can keep you accountable. That's the thing. We can say, have you been earthing? Have you been getting some fresh air? We can keep you accountable to your balance.
Spinach.
So.
That's so important. Balance is the key. So if you're ever, saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, or what does Dima say, always and never, that causes cancer. So just really focus on your language and focus on what you're doing, what you can do, not what you can't do, and have people like us to support you and guide you, because that's all we are. Like, we're just a mirror for you. It's not, you know, you should do this, you should do that. It's just like, okay, well, how is this reflecting back onto your life, and how can you live completely optimally and happy and feel that balance?
Yeah.
It's just that's all it is.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life's good.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. When you're in balance. Yeah. Anyway, how you reckon? You got any more in the tank? You got a lot to give, I know that,
Heaps
but you got any more to say today?
I guess, like, you know, if you're feeling hesitant to book a session, because I know what it's like to try someone new for the first time, especially in the space of healing and counselling and energy work and stuff. It's a lot of trust that needs to happen. But just know that anything that's shared within the space, I don't, you know, tell anyone. If you see Ninja or if you see Aaron or any of the guys regularly, and if you want to come see me, I will not share what happens in the sessions. And just know that, you know, I'm coming from a place of love, and I'll never have any ill intentions or want to harm you. So yeah, book a session, come see me. I'd love to meet you all, and yeah, help you feel balanced.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Get a close up of you and just say
bye.
done.
Done.